Hello everyone, it's Victor here once again and welcome to Victor's Tiny Kitchen where we cook Filipino favorites and more. And for today guys, I am excited because I'm going to share with you how to make Puto-Pao or meat pie in English. You know, this is a Filipino dish that my friend, a good friend of mine, suggested for me to cook it or show it in this cooking channel. And I did a trial of it the first time. I did put it on video because it was only a trial. And I really like the taste of it. It's so filling, it's so delicious. So here we are. I'm putting in a video and I'm sharing it with you. Let's get started. So the first thing that we have to do here is to cook our filling. And I have here about 650 grams of back portion of pork that I have cut into inch sizes. And what we're going to do right now is to saute it first. So my pan is ready, it's now nice and hot. So I'm going to put this in. So basically what we're trying to do here is to brown our meat first. So we're just going to keep on mixing it and stirring it until we get the desired brownness of this pork. So now that our pork is brown, we can now add our soy sauce. Now we can start sauteing our garlic. And then we can now add our onion. We will wait until our onion and garlic here are translucent. At this point we can now add our 1 tablespoon of oyster sauce. Give it a good mix. We need a liquid, and so we now add our pineapple juice. We'll add a little bit of water. And now we can add our bay leaves. 3 pieces of bay leaves here. And then our tomato paste, about 1½ tablespoons. And we'll add more water. So water that I've added so far is about 1/2 cup. Now season it with salt and then freshly ground pepper. Maybe about 2 teaspoons of freshly ground pepper here. That's good. Give it a stir. And then I'll let this simmer like this for 20 to 30 minutes until we tenderize our pork here. I'll be right back. So it's been 20 minutes since we let our pork simmer here. Let's check if it's tender now. It is tender. So at this point we can now add our sugar. And then we can also add our dissolved cornstarch. Our cornstarch here will help thicken our sauce. It's gonna be beautiful. And finally, our 2 teaspoons of sesame oil. And at this point, I can now take off the bay leaves. There's one more hiding in here. Where are you? Here. So we don't need the bay leaves here now. We just have to discard them. This one's good. Our filling is done, and we can set this aside for now. We'll turn off our cooktop here. So guys, our filling is done. It's cooked. What I'm doing now is I'm just going to take it off the pan here, transfer it to a bowl like what I have here. I'm just gonna pour it here directly into the bowl. It's easy. So what I'm gonna do right now is to set this aside. I'll clean up and I'll be right back. So guys, we're back here and we're now ready to make our pie. So this is where we would stuff our filling here, which is our asado or pork asado. I have here about 3.5 cups of all-purpose flour, and today I'm gonna add about 1 can of the coconut milk. I like this brand here, ROD, because it has 60% of the coconut milk. So I'm gonna give it a mix, and now I'm gonna add in water. So I'm just gonna keep stirring it until we get that batter consistency that we're looking for. And then I'm gonna add water. And then at this point, I'm gonna add my 3.5 tablespoons of baking powder. And then I'm gonna add a wee bit of salt, just a pinch. You just have to keep on folding, keep on stirring. And then at this point, I'm gonna add in my 2 tablespoons of melted butter. And now I can add in my sugar. My sugar here, by the way, is actually a combination of 1 cup of white sugar and then 1/2 cup of icing sugar, because I ran out of white sugar, but I have the icing sugar in my cupboard, so I could use it. So if you see some lumps, what you could do, you can just scrape it and then flatten it, or break it with your spatula. Now I want my batter to have that really fine texture, so I'm gonna use my blender here. At this point, guys, I'm gonna break 1 egg and then add it into my mixture here. So now our batter is done and we're ready for the next step. So we're done making our batter. The next step is to pour our batter in the mold. And initially we just put about a wee bit of it, because we want to leave a good portion of our mold, or the fillings, if I may, because we have our asado filling, and as well as the egg and the Parmesan cheese. And once you've done that, you can now add in your pork asado. For me, I want to put about a tablespoon of my pork asado here, and I want to leave some space for the rest of the fillings. Good. And then now I can add the egg. And finally, you can cover the fillings with your batter again. One thing that I forgot to mention here, guys, is that, well, you could see it. I lined my mold here with the baking paper, but it's easier that way. I think it's easier for me to take it off, or to take off my pie from the mold. So that one is good, and we're gonna arrange it in our steamer here. So I'm gonna line them up, 4 of them at the bottom, and then right on top here I could put in about 3 of them. So 7 pies are cooking at the same time. And then I'm gonna put it in my steamer here, cover it, and I will switch it on and let it simmer, or let it steam for about 20 minutes or maybe less. So I'm gonna set it at steam here. So one thing that I forgot, guys, is to put my Parmesan topping. It's not too late. I'm just gonna sprinkle my Parmesan cheese on top of the pies before they would cook. Hi guys, I'm back here, and I have to improvise now because it seems like I'm not getting the desired result of my meat pie or Puto-Pao here in my first batch, and so I have to improvise, right? Luckily, I made quite a bit of batter and also the filling, the asado or the pork asado. I have extra that I have already prepared, and I'm gonna steam them using my old-time favorite steamer here. Let's see how it goes. There's already water in it, and what I need to do right now is to organize my molds here filled with the batter. So I'm gonna cover this one now, and I'm gonna use my stove here to steam this. I'm just gonna put this on top of the stove now. And normally with this one here, because there's big molds here, it would take about 20 minutes to completely cook it. So we're just gonna wait for that, and I will be right back. I think this one is cooked. We'll go check using the toothpick here. See if it comes out clean after poking it with a toothpick, then it's gonna be good. This one is good. There's a bit of batter that comes out of it and sticking into the toothpick, but it's cooked batter, so it's not like it's raw or something. So I'm gonna turn off the heat here now. So I'm gonna take them off right now from the steamer. Hi guys, we're back here, and our meat pies are already cooked. They're still hot right now and hot for me to handle. What I'm doing is I'm just letting them cool down here on a rack, and once they're not too hot to handle, we can taste it, and I'm gonna show it to you. So I'll be back. Hi guys, we're back here, and finally my meat pie or Puto-Pao is now cooked. And luckily I improvised, because this is the second batch that I've made, and this is the successful one. The first batch was totally a disaster. I had to discard all of them because they're not edible. I think it was because of the mold. It was plastic, mold that I was using. This is a reminder to you guys, be careful with plastic. So I had to discard all of them. And like I said, I have improvised, and this is what came out of the improvisation that I made. This is so good. I am gonna taste one of them. Yeah, I split this in half because of the picture taking that I did earlier. Guys, this is really so yummy, and this is a must try for all of you out there. The dough is kind of airy and it's so succulent at that, and the filling is so delicious. The pork asado is just mightily delicious. So all of those ingredients coming together and making it so tasty as a whole. So this meat pie is really to die for. So why don't you give it a try, guys, and let me know what you think about this dish by writing down your comments at the comment section below. And again, in case you haven't yet, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and watch my other videos. And I hope you had fun today. Thank you again for watching, and see you on my next video. Bye for now.